As the prevailing voices in the public spotlight are predominantly men, stepping into the spotlight with the truth of who you are as a woman is political change. Welcome to the Women's Series, the month of May. And this is the Women's Series where we capture developments and stories that impact women. My name is Ayomide Oguntoye. The month of May will be very busy, very, very busy. And here's why, because we're going to see a lot of things going on in political parties for primaries and whatnot. But what's beyond the primaries? What is the roadmap for women? What is the roadmap? What are the stakes for women? I have a guest, an interesting guest in the house today to have this conversation with me. It might be pretty little tight, so fasten your seatbelt and get ready for the conversation. But before we go on, let's quickly go on a quick break and we'll be back.
Tune in to Web TV Daily to stay up to date and informed on the financial market, personal finance, and more. We have got you covered with all your favorite TV shows, economy and politics, market review, women's series, millennial talk, Islamic Finance Weekly, The Brief, exclusive interviews, events, and we keep you up to date on all the updates in the financial market with the market opening gong. Watch premium content. Watch Web TV. Same news, different perspective.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still the Women's Series where we'll capture developments and stories that impact women. Today, we're talking about what are the stakes for women roadmap to 2023. It's pretty tough. I mean, we've been having here and there, but let's bring it home. Let's have it on here. I mean, let's express ourselves as women. What exactly do we want to see and what are the stakes most especially for women? And I have an interesting guest in the house today. I'm pretty excited to be speaking with her once again. Yeah, I spoke with her in June, and I'm very happy to speak with her again. I'm speaking with Ambassador Folake Marcus-Bello, a former Nigerian ambassador to Zambia and Malawi, and the convener of We the Women. Hello, ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm very well, very good, thank
How
you.
Doing?
Very well. And yourself?
Yeah, very well, thank you. You look good. I think I'm not seeing you in a while.
Well, we're all keeping quiet, keeping strong.
I think, why are we even still keeping quiet? I don't know if that's a good way to start today's conversation, but why are we still keeping quiet? Do you think that as critical as this period is, do you think this is the time for us to even be keeping quiet?
Well, at this time, the most important thing is that we all go to get registered to vote. We have another opportunity once again, which occurs every 4 years to elect our leaders. And I dare say that Nigerians are getting wiser. Yep. Nigerians are more aware. And hopefully the result of this new election that's due in 2023 will make us happy. I'm not predicting in terms of leadership, but I'm predicting in terms of turnout. After you contacted me that this interview was going to take place, I actually took my time to go to an INEC office on Lagos Island to find out the stats, the statistics, to see if the awareness has been generated and if people are responding. And surprisingly, I saw a long queue. I'm told that it's going to end in July. Yeah. And the officer said, yes, this is about the best turnout that they have seen
so far
in a long time. When they say in a long time, in terms of registration. So we will keep talking. Nigerians are talking. I think Nigerians are getting bolder. Social media has helped a great deal. You know, everybody is being careful because with social media, everything flies around like very fast, like wildfire, like lightning. Yeah. So in terms of expectation for 2023, the awareness is better. I'm sure the percentages are going to rise. So in as much as that. And then individually, because you can just pick up your phone, record yourself, do TikTok, do short clips, reels, everything. Our leaders are getting a bit careful, more careful. And the electorate are getting aware. So I'm hoping that 2023 will be better in terms of participation. Yes.
I think that's a good way to start off today's conversation. But let's take it a little step backward and talk about the current situation, the socio-economic challenges we're facing in Nigeria as of today. So Nigeria as of today is facing socio-economic challenges from insecurity, crude oil theft, rising cost of diesel that is affecting businesses and households and all of those things. Now, from your perspective, does this threaten our stability as a nation? I mean, I was just at a conference recently. Was it a press conference? Yeah, it was somewhere like a press conference, and they were giving the stakes of our economy. It is really, really, I don't know what words to use for it, but it's not encouraging. So from your own perspective, do you think that this threatens our stability as a nation?
You have to look at stability in different ways. Stability in terms of security, stability in terms of family, stability in terms of the youth.
Yeah.
Hold that on.
Okay.
The socio-economic trend of Nigeria, I do not think that Nigerians, and particularly our leaders, appreciate what the whole picture
is.
Look at what is happening lately. There are lots of rapes, there are lots of incest, there are lots of sodomy. Our youths are in Yahoo. The youths are, even from their dressing to their approach to life, is frightening. And why do you think this attaches to our economic position? Parents are busy chasing everything possible so that the homes can balance, so that they can pay their bills, which include bills for food and bills for school fees and bills for general well-being. And there's huge rising inflation. The family unit, as far as I'm concerned, is the one that determines the wellness of a nation. If the family is well looked after, like when we were young, in the early 60s and 70s, I recall that by 6 o'clock, if we do not spot our dad walking back from the office with his bag, his briefcase, and by 5:30, we position ourselves on the steps, rushing to see who will take his briefcase first, because we could predict that by 5 o'clock, my dad will be here. Weekends, he would go out with his friends, enjoy himself, but be there. We knew that our mom would come in at about 6.
Yeah.
So there was discipline, there was anxiety, there was correctness,
From the home level.
From the home level. But all of that has been disparaged because of our economic situation. You will find women on the streets, even at 12 midnight, trying to sell. You will find children selling on the street. Everything is in total disarray. Everyone is guilty, from the government to the churches to the mosques, who organize overnight spiritual vigils, and people who organize spiritual prayers. So parents are not there. When we were young, you will hear expressions in Yoruba like "Babas don't sell pap," which means that if you have a profession, you're focused on your profession because the remuneration from your profession is adequate, but not anymore. Even lawyers, even doctors, even everybody must look for what they call a side hustle.
Yeah.
If you don't have a side hustle, you really can't go far.
Yeah.
It's only politics and religion that has become the bane of making money. And this is very, very sad. So the government is not doing enough. But what about us? As people, everything is upside down. So I will go back to what I said before. All of us must be interested in what is happening now. What is happening now, you must go out to be registered to vote and to participate. Participation doesn't mean that you have to put out a poster, you have to be the noisemaker. You can quietly in your own way. I'm appealing to Nigerians to ensure that every household registers every child that is above 18, that is going to be 18 as at the time of voting in February, March 2023. So that is where the responsibility starts. That one is not determined by President Buhari. That one is not for any governor to be blamed. Let us begin to make the correctness from our side, which is that you should be able to speak to your adult children, you should be able to speak to your household, you'll be able to speak to your neighbors, you should be able to speak to people all around you to ensure that they go to get their PVC. So I think that is the stage we're at now, and we should start with ourselves. I think for that, I have succeeded like 80%, but I'm determined to get everybody, drivers, personal assistants, cook, children I know. I'm calling up my friends. I'm saying to everybody, let us get our PVC. Let us be registered. Let us be ready. Because this government now is winding up. For me, under the law, when I say the law, because I'm also a lawyer, if you go, for example, you have a case and you go to engage a lawyer who did not represent you well, the lawyer can only give you as much as his capacity is, as much as his content is. So if you go to court and lose your case, it's either you get another lawyer for the next level, but you cannot turn around to blame the lawyer for the service he rendered you. So we cannot turn around to blame this government for the service they have rendered us. They keep saying that they're trying their best, but their best is not good enough for us. So that is the capacity which they have displayed. Luckily, it's towards the end of their tenure. So what do we need to do? We need to look around for the leader that has the capacity to serve us. Ask questions, get your PVC ready, and be an active participant. Nigerians are onlookers. We're scared of, on election day, somebody's going to come with a gun. On election day, they're going to steal the ballot boxes.
I think the conversation has even gone beyond that. I think the conversation now is the set of people they are seeing.
No. The set of people, you see, that is what we're saying about participation. You cannot blame anybody for coming out. And you cannot blame yourself if you yourself do not organize yourself in such a way that you can get people who are competent to come out. Now, for example, the political parties came up with 100 million and 40 million and so much million. Do you understand? Who has spoken? Who has taken them to court? Who has said that? Who is fighting? We are all we have this like cynical attitude now. We've been beaten into a corner because the time it will take you to start pursuing that, we are not economically viable. So everybody's been beaten into the corners to say, look, let me sort myself out first.
Right.
But if we continue to say, let me sort myself, this is what has happened and this is where we have found ourselves. Do you understand? Yeah. From the policeman who will not arrest when he's supposed to arrest, from the judge who will not judge the case sometime, from mothers who are absent, from fathers who are irresponsible, from drivers who are on the road without licenses, everything is totally upside down. So it is time now for us to look critically. But majority of the population has already been removed from participation. But be that as it may, there are political parties. We must make it clear to people who are listening that these monies are set by political parties. They are not set by INEC.
Right.
These are monies set by political parties. So if you can't find your space in APC, go to PDP. If you can't find your space in PDP, go to SDP. If you can't find your space in SDP, let us all just get involved.
So I think that's one other misconception that you might want to touch on that would be the fact that quite a number of people believe that if it is not APC or if it's not PDP, which of course they believe that those are like the strongest parties we have, they don't have like a possible chance of winning or even going further in their political aspirations. I mean, Why does it have to be that? Now you're speaking that if it is not APC, it should be PDP. If it's not PDP, it should be SDP. I mean, and we still have
or any other
or
political
any other
party.
political party, which of course they are quite enormous. Why is it so? I mean, why do we have so much conception relating to that?
You need the spread,
Mm.
especially for the presidency and the governorship. What the law or the constitution says that you cannot be the president of Nigeria without 12 2/3 of the votes.
Yeah.
Which means you need the spread in the east, in the west, in the south, in the north.
Mm.
If you do not go to the large political parties, the big political parties, it will be very difficult for you to make that spread. So let us be realistic. You need to go to those big political parties.
So it means that
But
you need to be ready to do the work.
Yes. If you are vying for, say, State House of Assembly, local government chairman, even a state governor, you can still get away. It's smaller. You can still get away with going to other political parties.
Right.
But let us be realistic. Politics, campaign is expensive. Do not let us deceive ourselves. The people we borrowed the system from, America, during Obama's time, during Biden's time, they are always on the internet asking for donations. $5 here, $10 there, $100 there, and all of that. And you can see the cleverness, in quote, of our politicians. None of them has come out to say, I bought the form myself. It is either a group of friends or a group of people living in their village, or some people have come together. I am yet to see who has come out to say, it is my money. And I always say this at every opportunity. Then we begin to ask them for their factory, for their companies, for where the money is coming from. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
So it's really disheartening. It's disheartening. Where do we want to start from? Where are we going to get the money from? So there are too many questions
To be honest.
begging for answers.
Right. I mean, I'm going to touch on the part where you said that campaigns or elections are quite expensive. Campaigns are expensive. Running campaigns are expensive. But let's quickly talk about the stakes for women, which of course is the part I'm very much interested in. Now, we've seen quite a number of people or interested people coming out to say, this is what they want. This is their aspirations. They want to run for governor. They want to run for presidency. They want to run for all of sorts. But we've seen less women come out to say that they are also aspiring to also come out. I mean, where exactly is going on? I mean, because I know that we've been having these conversations about women in politics, political participation, encouraging women. Is it that, do you think that we've not spoken enough? Or do you think that it's the financials that is debarring them? Or they're still not confident enough to say, okay, yes, I am ready to come out. I mean, I have like the support of women. I have the backup of women to also support me. What exactly is going on? Why is it that we're just seeing, if you see a set of people coming together now to debate about politics 2023, they're only talking about the men. This is because this person has declared to come out. But what's happening with the women?
Well, this is sad, because if you look at the voting pattern, women vote more than men. Just like in churches, you'll see
more women than...
Because when the troubles come, the women are more affected. The women are the ones left to look after the children. They're the ones left to run things when the men are gone to war. So it is extremely important that our women come out to vote, to participate, and to be elected. But there are factors to be considered. First of all are the financials. When you look at the top businesses of this country, how many women are involved? I can count the successful women that have millions and billions of naira to go into politics. You need funding. That is why even America, that we have borrowed this from, they do crowdfunding for their elections. Travels, campaigns, adverts, neighborhood, everything. Tea parties, everything. Even your clothing, your everything. You need a lot of funding. So how many of our women have that capacity? Even for organizations that loan funds to expand businesses in this country, we have heard them say so many times that women don't come out. Women don't like to take a loan. They don't like to take. They like to be in their comfort zone. That's one. When you look at the custom of Nigeria, is it encouraging? Women, although in Africa, 60% of the households are headed by women. A lot of women are single women.
Yeah.
So how do you then combine your life as a single woman to chasing politics?
Positions.
Especially when the indices you require are non-existent. You will find more women in developed countries because when her child is ill, there's free medical, there's
Health
free
insurance,
food when she doesn't have money, there's welfare package when she falls ill. But here, from your water to your electricity, to your hospital, to your car, you are the mechanic, you are the barber, you are the NEPA, you are the PHCN, you are the diesel buyer. You have to keep calculating all the time. You are distracted every inch of the way. And it has gone worse now because you don't even know who to trust. Someone comes to you to say, I'm a professional. At the end of the day, they are not properly trained. So everything is topsy-turvy. So there are too many things conflicting for a woman. A man can walk away and leave it to his wife. If he has a good wife, she will take care of the house. How many men are strong enough to stand up to say, I will take care of the house, you go. So there's emotional attachment for women for their homes and their children. Then traditionally, in Africa, it is believed that men are the head of the household. Now women are raising the issue of, if you claim you are the men, you are the head, we are the neck, and the head cannot move without the neck. But gradually things are getting better. I just looked at the statistics before we started. It was in 2007 to 2011 that we have to date the greatest number of women in the parliament. But then we had 34. And the men were close to 500. Now, currently, we have 29, I think. And the men are like 470 something. So we still have a very, 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 very long way to go. So except the women come together and elect leaders that they know will have their interests in terms of education, in terms of health, in terms of housing, so that they are always left to hold the bathwater. So if somebody is there who will take care of all these things for them, then many more women will be encouraged to come out. We are the voters.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day. So the realistic appeal we can make, we can't afford it. In terms of grouping, every woman is busy. It's either she's busy with her children or she's busy trying to juggle a lot of things together. I don't believe in the concept of women don't support each other. Women just have too many issues going on for them to leave what they are doing entirely and to go on. I'll put this as a joke and aside. I'm told that men marry so many wives because there's the wife for transport in the house, there's the wife for discipline, there's the wife for cooking, there's the wife for managing the home. So women cannot have 4 husbands in Nigeria, can they?
No.
You know, they can't have this for that and that for this and, you know. So those are the things that we need to take care of and look at. I'm a realistic person. So what we need to do now, it's even getting late. The primaries are this month. So what we need to do now is to get the women to register and to vote and to participate by campaigning for whoever they want. I'm not saying go to PDP, go to APC, go to NNPC, go anywhere. All I'm saying is that get your vote and know in your heart who you want to vote for. So we must vote a candidate who will respect women as a start-off, who will respect women, who will appreciate the position we play, or if we're allowed, the position we play. Look at most of the best managed institutions in Nigeria are headed by women. Women are fantastic managers because they have been trained since they were born to be managers of the home. You know, you are the one who will juggle your 5,000 naira, make a pot of stew, still have enough for clothes, buy this, do that. So we're fantastic managers. So now what we should contend ourselves with is to fight to make sure that we put in position a man who has the interests of women at heart.
That's for presidency.
That's for presidency and for governor. So that many more women should aspire to political appointments. For me, that I think is the way to go for now. At least we have grown from the time of we are quiet, we are shy, we don't talk much. Women are speaking up now, but they don't have the finances, they don't have the grouping, they don't. That's what, for example, we are trying to do with our own organization.
I was going to touch on that.
Yes.
That's what exactly is we the women doing in that regard. I mean, we've talked about financials as a major constraint for women. I mean, so what exactly is we the women doing to help women, I mean, achieve all of these things, even if it is not the presidency, which of course we hope in the future it will happen. But what exactly are we doing to work towards that step in achieving all of these things?
What we're doing for now is, it's a realistic setup.
Yep.
And we have our roadmap. So what we're doing for now is to ensure that every woman gets her PVC. And she's ready with her household.
Okay, so this is not only a self, but a household.
Her household,
Everybody.
her neighborhood, her friends, even her enemies. Even people she doesn't talk to.
Yeah.
You know, when we talk of women, we're not talking only of elitist women. We're not talking only of educated Nigerian women. We're talking of every woman, because every woman in this country is in charge. If she's not in charge as a wife, she's in charge as a mistress. Let's be realistic. If she's not in charge as a mistress, she's in charge of wards. So every woman should go out to campaign. Make your partners, your husbands, your friends, your enemies, hold on to their PVC. We cannot state that enough. That's what my dream is as a convener of We the Women. And it is working.
Yep, right.
It's working.
Could you give the rough statistics of, I mean, with the numbers of women that we have together in With the Women? I mean, how has it helped in getting...
Oh, it has helped, because initially we concentrated on you must get yourself registered. Then you must extend it to your adult children, the ones who are there, to your grandchildren, to your husbands, to your friends, to your drivers, to your cook, to everybody. Can you imagine, maybe in 2019, the last election, I thought only of myself and my immediate children. But now I'm speaking to all my staff. I'm speaking to everybody. Yesterday, I think I was at the hairdressers. I'm singing that. So I'm asking everybody to sing. Bring somebody with you. No matter who. Bring somebody with you. I'm taking it now because I understand it's going to close in July. To my immediate mechanics, barbers, carpenters, everybody. Go and get registered to vote. When now the big people come out and we can look critically, then our next step will be your participation, which is that now you have the PVCs. The next thing you need to do is to look critically. Don't be scared. Maybe your landlord is contesting and you're like, if I speak against my landlord, he's going to throw me out. Or a friend who has like some form of control on you. Just be quiet. On the day of election, it's going to be you, your conscience, and the ballot box. So you can dance around with APC and decide to vote for PDP on the day. You can dance around with PDP and decide to vote for anybody else or any other group. You know, so my message also is that we shouldn't be scared. Just keep it to yourself. It's you. They didn't say it's for, mine is for Ayomide, and Ayomide is for the city. It is an individual thing on that day. Even if they are standing by the door, when you get to your box, it is only you. So our next project after the PVCs are closed is to encourage you, come rain, shine, or whatever, to be out on that day, even if lightning is going to strike. Because if any disintegration happens, it is the women who suffer the most. If any disintegration happens in any country, it is the children, The women are left. Don't you see them on television? When there's war or there's any kind of anxiety, you hardly find a man who is carrying his baby. Not that they don't exist, but when you take the statistics and the percentage, so women should realize that apart from not coming out to be elected for, they have a stake. And we have the numbers and we have the powers. You know, short time now, the men will tell you, oh, the women are more than the men. That is why we're going to take two. That is why we have girlfriends. That is why we can't make up our mind. So let us use that number to our advantage. What women should realize is that that also is another project, because we have to take it slowly. Where we are now is to ensure that you have your PVC to vote. Full stop. Grab your PVC. The next one will be your participation. Come rain, sun, shine, they are shooting, they want to scare you off. Stand in the corner, look for the appropriate time, vote. And then, once we have voted, we now try to start to train ourselves as to the kind of voice we have. Democracy is very powerful.
It's not until you get elected.
But Nigerians do not know how much power we have. If you have a bad senator representing you, for example, you know it's clearly stated in the Constitution how he can be removed. Even the president can be removed. Even a high court judge can be removed. Anybody can be removed. But we don't know the powers we have. So let us start now with realistic goals. Let's set realistic goals for ourselves. The realistic goal now is, this is, for me, once the month is past the middle, I think of the next month. Please get your PVC and vote. I started, we the women, started this well over 5 years ago. For example, they're talking about a particular set of people and church saying that they are campaigning for a particular candidate. I started this movement of getting even the churches to make their members to get interested in politics. I'm not claiming any prize. There's so many things I've started, but I just sit in my little corner and I don't talk. The people who are involved, the people I've done it for, they know that I have strategies and I'm a strategic thinker, physically and spiritually, for politics. Just before the last election, I think it was 2018, I got invited by my church to come and speak to the top echelon of the church in Lagos State. And I said to them, it's not your preaching that will give us a good society. It's the doing. I never hear you, for example, during the sermons, asking people to go and register to vote. Don't shy away from it. I started this a couple of years ago when I got invited by my church to come and speak to them. And they wanted to know, how come the sect I went to speak to, or Christians, are not interested in politics? And I said, when we come to church, you preach to us about good character. You preach to us about good homes, raising good children, doing this for God and all of that. Do you ever preach to us to say, the only way we can change this country also is by you participating? And I said to them at that meeting, please, every week, can we get you preaching about registration? And the church started. After that, I got invited by another church. And I said to them, a lot of Pentecostal people from different parts of Lagos State. And I said to them, the only way to change this country is if we all get up. We are praying, but prayer without works. So if we go to God to pray, and God says, did you vote? Did you participate? What answer are we going to get?
They prayed.
So we should go participate and then go to God. I participated and see what has happened. So it is important. It was after then that the association, the Christian Association, came together, and then Pastor Emmanuel also started to talk about it. So it's not something of a particular sect that are coming together to vote their person. They are just doing the works of what we started. And I'm still going to appeal to everyone to say that, for now, get your PVC. You will hear from us again as to the next stage to go.
I think that's a good way to start the conversation, to start this participation process that we're talking about, and also to end this conversation. Because at the end of the day, it is the responsibility of everybody. It is when the nation is bad, we all suffer for it. And when, of course, it is good, we all enjoy it. And for women, I love the fact that you were being realistic with your opinions with regards to why we're not seeing a lot of women come out at this
And
stage.
you know, a lot
with
of women,
for women.
Let us also remember that political parties are now saying, oh, women, come free, come free.
Yes.
I am against that.
Yes.
I am against that.
I mean,
because,
it speaks against the tokenism that we have been fighting against. I mean,
you know, not because I have, like they say, she's Margaret Thatcher. She's strong. I am not unhappy about my strength. I'm not unhappy about the fact that I speak up for women. I'm not unhappy about that. But I am unhappy when tokenism, they say, oh, no, you're a woman. At the university level, they don't show us any questions before. At any level, you go for a job interview, they don't show you. So why are women saying show us? It is because we have sat on our ride. It is because we have sat on the energy that we have. Forget about women coming together and forming groups. It may be difficult. I may agree with you today now that we're meeting tomorrow, meeting a group of women, and then I start receiving phone calls, which is what happened. My husband says his friends are coming to lunch. Oh, my child is ill. Genuine reasons. So let women begin to realize the power which they have. Even in individualism, let them begin. There was a day, I think, in a country, I won't mention the country, the woman decided to do a no-sex day. The men went crazy. We have all sorts of powers that we can use. We will always be busy. We can't come together as a woman with the numbers that we need because issues will always happen. We are responsible to our children, we are responsible to our husbands, we are responsible to our country. But as individuals, without coming together, essentially helped and backed by the social media. I canceled a long time ago that when interviews like this come to me, nobody should ask me, and so what school did you go? What fashion do you like? What shoes do you wear? What questions do you ask the men? When you go to them, do you ask them about what is the quantity of your agbada? How come your tummy? Talk to us about human beings. I deal with human beings. There's no difference between me and a man. The only difference is that
physical change.
I have the physical changes because I procreate. But apart from that, we have the same head. We have the same everything. We went to the same schools. I didn't get any concession. We drive. We eat the same way. We use the bathroom the same way. So why then should they concede to me? I'm already giving them my powers free of charge. Nigerian women, without speaking, just know that we are in charge. How are we in charge? We are in charge because we have the numbers. We're in charge because we're in charge of the children. The hand that rocks the cradle, they say, rules the world. Where is that hand of the Nigerian woman? Why are we closing the hand and sitting on it? We must go out, we must get our PVC, and we must vote. That is the power which we have without necessarily raising the 100 million, without necessarily putting out the posters. We should proudly come back home every day to say, oh, I got 4 people to register today. Oh, I spoke to 1 person. Oh, I dragged my son to register. Oh, I dragged my brother-in-law to register. That is what we should do between now and July. May, June, July. We have 3 months.
Right.
And then we'll see what will happen.
Roughly 90 days.
Don't worry about, oh, if I vote, my vote will not count. The day is going to count. If you don't have your PVC, how are you going to do it? So let us just go on. And I'm sure that by the grace of God and by the grace of our children and by the grace of the powers that lie within us, we will succeed.
That was powerful. The last statement was very powerful. I mean, our strength does not lie in raising 100 millions, but our strength lies in the power we hold that we have not realized. And I love the fact that we are speaking about it, and hope that every woman realizes the power that she carries and the potential that she carries as a woman. Thank you very much for having this conversation. It was quite rich, quite, I mean, lengthy, but it was very, very rich. And I love the fact that we're able to touch on the critical issues regarding Roadmap to 2023. Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
hope next time when we come.
Oh, I'm all yours.
Always. Thank you very much.
Thank
And on that note, we end today's conversation on the Women Series program. If you'd love to reach out to me, kindly send a mail to ayomide.oguntoye@proshare.co. And if you'd love to read more on our news stories and watch our videos, log on to www.proshare.co. Follow us on our social media platforms as well, showing on the screen. And until next time, I hope we'll get to speak more about politics. Thank you for watching.